Hello everybody, welcome to this APAC committee hosted by the WBA. We're pleased that you could join us as we'll be covering off some very interesting topics over the next hour. We're going to start with a recap about why the APAC committee was created in the first place, and then we'll be hearing from several people from the APAC region about specific wireless connectivity issues that they're faced with today. We'll close the session with a brainstorm and then move to next steps as well. Okay. Just to introduce myself, I'm Steve Namasave, and I'm VP for Alliances and Membership here at the WBA. I'm going to start now with just a recap of why we created this committee in Q1. Really wanted to look at specific issues related to the APAC region and how the WBA and its members could help by leveraging WBA resources and centers of excellence as well. WBA is doing a lot today to address specific wireless connectivity issues, both technically and from a business perspective. And we thought that, okay, with the challenges that we face from around the globe, that it would be a good idea to set this committee up. Okay. Just to mention the WBA leadership, myself, Tiago and Bruno, and also from members that have kindly stepped forward to help. So we have Sandeep from CDOT, Gianni from Cirrus, Bhuvnesh from HFCL, Chris from Telstra, and Hideaki from Eduroam as well. We're pleased to say that many companies have stepped forward to help, and I do a call for action here as well, or a call for participation for anybody that would like to come and get involved. Please do so. Okay. From our Q1 meeting, these are the topics that rose to the top in terms of most prominent wireless connectivity themes. So you can see we have lack of rural connectivity, digital poverty, convergence between Wi-Fi and cellular, residential Wi-Fi, seamless, secure and private Wi-Fi, public Wi-Fi, next generation hotspot in terms of Wi-Fi 6, 6E and 7, equipment lead times due to component shortages, and then skilled resources. Okay. Without further ado, I'd like to go back to the agenda here and kick off the presentations and invite Heath Smith and Anthony Vickers. Heath from 10 Telco Pty in Sydney, and Anthony Vickers is from New South Wales Indigenous Chamber of Commerce. Thank you. And where are you guys in the project at the moment? I know you said you're installing systems, but is anything up and ready yet, or what's the plan?
Right now? No, we're mostly in the preliminary stages of just getting it all underway.
Okay. No, thanks for sharing, Heath. I don't know, Anthony, if you want to weigh in anything. I've got a couple of comments I was just going to share because I know we've been working with you guys on some other technical projects as well. But if not, Anthony, I can push forward.
Yeah, just quickly, you can hear me there, okay?
Yep, now loud and clear. Yeah.
No problem. Yeah, so just quickly to let others know online that the Chamber itself, the New South Wales Indigenous Chamber of Commerce, is basically there for its members. So Aboriginal businesses in general is who we support, and Heath being in the telco space is one of the areas that we obviously have issues with. Even in the city, we're still having issues in Sydney itself, where Heath is going to help us understand what possibly could be some of those barriers in that space. But from my point of view, I've also been out in remote Australia working, and we've had to use satellites. And as Heath said, it's very, very expensive. Like we were looking at, from memory now, it was about $180,000 for 10 weeks of use of one of their, what they call a cow, or communication on wheels. Ridiculous amount of money for one of our mine sites. And on the other side of the fence, with the COVID issues everybody's been dealing with across the country and around the world, we've had communications. I noticed, I don't know this directly, but through media and so forth, the Royal Flying Doctors and that were having issues with connection just out at Wilcannia, which is a town. It's probably about 3 hours from Newcastle, 4 or 5 hours from Sydney. Would it be, Heath?
Oh, to Wilcannia. Oh no, so from Sydney to Burke is 8.5 hours. So you're probably another hour on that. So you'll be looking at
so probably about the 6 hour mark. Yeah, okay.
Yeah, it takes by flight it's about 6 hours, but by vehicle it'll take you. So it's 8.5 hours from Dubbo to Burke by car. So and it's 5 hours from Sydney to Dubbo. So from Dubbo to Broken Hill. So you're looking at about anywhere from 10 hours to get out to there.
Yeah, you're probably right too. It's been a while since I've been there, but anyway, long story short was that there has been significant issues with emergency situations where even the Royal Flying Doctors have trouble with communications to those towns. So it's a real need. As we said, the chamber isn't specifically hands-on in this space. It's more about helping organisations and businesses come together, collaborate, and also hopefully build some of that process, or help develop some of the process in collaboration. So that's where we sort of put our hand into the basket, if you like.
Yeah. No, thanks for sharing. I've got a question actually. You mentioned there about sort of like the high cost of connectivity, particularly in the case of satellite. But in terms of sustainability and how this is all funded, I mean, how is that achieved? Is the government, doing anything to help, or is it, through other means?
We're in the process of speaking with government at the moment, and trying to find those right persons to speak to get it up and running. So where our first thoughts were that we can fund some of it ourselves, and work with government to help fund some of it as some more. But I've been building networks for quite a while, and outside before we start a business for ourselves, and you can do it. We can actually do it quite a bit cheaper, and then than some of the others. There's a lot of bureaucracy.
Okay, thank you. Yeah, just to share with everybody, so the Wireless Broadband Alliance and Heath and Anthony, we've been having some conversations. There's a couple of different initiatives that we're running. We have a Connected Communities Forum here in the Alliance, and that, as part of our manifesto as well, part of what we're about is how we can help bridge that digital divide. And the Connected Communities Forum is just one initiative that we run, where we talk with different municipalities, cities, communities, to see where we can help as well. As part of that, we've also introduced open roaming. So open roaming is this federated wireless system, but how can we actually onboard more users, more people onto networks more seamlessly and securely? And in fact, we've been scoping out a trial. It's in the early days with Heath and with Anthony as well. So that's something that we hope to realize in Australia this year as well. Okay. I'm just gonna to the audience. If there are any other questions, Sandy, go ahead. Yep. Yeah. Hi, Sandy. Welcome.
Yeah. Hi. So just a question to Smith and others, that with respect to the connectivity challenges in Australia, how much these challenges are associated with the end user devices, whether end user devices poses a challenge to adopt evolving networks like Wi-Fi, whether the end user devices are legacy devices, or these are all supporting 2.45 gigahertz, like that. So end user device challenge, what is your thought on
that? So I don't believe there's a great deal of a problem really. We just have to make sure that, because the end user device is pretty much what the end user can afford. So we have to make sure that everything's as compatible as possible to get across. Unfortunately, it'll be very difficult to state exactly what they need to use on the network.
There's a question here from Maria from BT. She's asking about, is there a map of breadth across New South Wales for the regional network expansion? I think you gave a bit of a verbal update, but does anything like that exist?
You got that, Heath, or do you?
Oh, we're going to be now. So, no,
We've got,
I don't
yeah,
have it
we've
with me
got some,
now. I'm actually.
We're losing you a little bit, I think, Heath. Anthony, do you know?
Yeah,
Yeah,
we've got data from the government with some of their statistics with where the networks are currently in place, and some of the places that they're talking about aren't necessarily, I suppose, up to the standard that we would expect. But generally, yeah, we've been gathering data from what we can with Heath's own experience out there on the in the regions, as well as government departments have been giving us information and data around where and what infrastructure are currently in place in those regions. Is that the question we were asked then? Because I was sort of getting a bit of a break up there as well.
Yeah, no, it's the regional areas, but yeah, I think Heath's breaking out still. I think the bill on the satellite may not be paid.
Well, Heath is in Dubbo, which is out region, and there is definitely problems.
Yeah.
As I say, and I live I'm in a town called Maitland, which is only 2 hours from Sydney, and it's a large regional town. And you know, we even have to walk outside our house to call on mobiles. You know, it's crazy.
Yeah. Okay, thank you. So just in the interest of time, I think we need to move forward. But Heath, Anthony, thank you for your contributions as well. I think we're going to move it forward. So what next I would like to do is our next speaker is going to be Ika Leonardo from DNE. So just so everybody knows, DNE are one of the newest members into the alliance as well, based out in Indonesia. I wanted to have Ika come and talk to everybody here about what they're doing with regards to rural Wi-Fi in Indonesia as well. I think it's quite fascinating as well. So Ika, over to you. I'll also welcome, let me know if you want me to share your slides or if you prefer to take the screen as well. Okay. Let me just check.
Can you hear my voice?
We can. Hi, Ika. Morning. I know you're in Europe as well.
Hi,
so.
Yes, okay. Morning. Yes, just arrived this morning. So, I think that you can help me to share the presentation.
Okay, I will do that.
Yeah, while you opening the presentation, now with me, there are our team member. Maybe I will introduce. There is Amales. Amales is from product team, and then there is Surya. Surya is from commercial team, and then there is Reski. Reski is from network infrastructure engineering team. So they are joining this session since beginning.
Thank you and welcome everybody. So hopefully you can see my screen okay. Is that okay?
Yes, that's okay.
Okay.
Okay, can I start?
You can, yeah, over to you.
Yeah, okay, thank you for the time. So basically what I will briefly explain that we are from DNA Group of Technology. We based in Indonesia, and then right now our focus is to provide connectivity to a rural area. And in for your info, Indonesia as a country consists of 17,000 islands, and then we have around almost 90,000 villages, and then based on statistics, 26,000 villages still in the problematic in terms of connectivity, and then around 12,000 villages is without connectivity at all. So our target is actually mainly these 12,000 villages and some of the 26,000 villages. Maybe next slide, please.
Okay.
Yeah, okay. This is some of the company in our group. So we have our DNE Net. DNE Net is actually an ISP that operating in Indonesia, and we don't have any customer in the big city. So we are focused in the rural area, and DNE Tech is actually our platform as a service company that developing the platform, and then I will not explain one by one. So we also have a subsidiary that focus on IoT, and we have also company that focus on education and tourism, and etc. So next slide. Okay, so basically, what we did is actually when we do the implementation for our product, so we always divide it into 3 phases. The first phase is going online, which is we will try to reduce the digital divide that's happening in the villages. Next slide. Okay, our product, we call it as a community Wi-Fi ecosystem. So basically, we are not only providing the infrastructure and bandwidth, but we also providing with all the back end, including the digital payment and including API management that integrated with some of our partners. And then we do our own billing, and we do our distribution management and sales management through our distribution management and reseller that we have in the villages, and also we have around 300 digital products that we sell through this platform. And then we develop this platform also. DNE Tech is the one who developed the platform. Is Amales team who developed the platform. And then we develop this platform to comply also with the 5G coexistence. So later on, when 5G also coming to Indonesia, we hope that we can do that also. Next slide. Yeah, this is I already explained. We have this various type of digital products. So we do our monetization using internet voucher, and this internet voucher is not physical vouchers, but everything is already digital. And then we have also digital vouchers for games, TV, movie, and etc. And then from our platform, our portal, all the user can do bill payment, either for electricity or others, and also users can purchase like a data pack or top up their e-money or wallet, and etc. Next. Okay, so once we finish the deployment of the community Wi-Fi ecosystem, then we can transform the village, become the digital village. Usually, for transforming into the digital village, we work together with some reputable university in Indonesia in terms of digital literacy. So next. Okay, and then for digital village, so basically we already develop our own platform as a service. One of the platform is digital learning platform. So this digital learning platform, people in the village, they can use it for education, they can use it for meetings, and then they can use it for many others. So like the university that we are working together is actually they can do remote education, online education, by using this platform. Next. This is a sample of the user dashboard. So basically, every user that log in into the digital learning platform, they will have their own dashboard, and then every user will have a different dashboard. Next. And also for a small medium business in the rural area and also retail business in the rural area. So basically, we have our platform, what we call it as a smart POS. And then for this smart POS, we put everything on the cloud, and then user on the village, they just install our mobile application, or if they have a bigger shop or bigger SKU, bigger inventory, then they can do the larger device. So basically, we provide end-to-end for managing their retail ecosystem. Next. This is some of the type of the smart POS. We have the smart POS for F&B. We have for groceries. We have the smart POS mobile. And then also we have smart POS for supplier. So basically, yeah. And in every implementation in the rural area, in the village, we always working together with local company, local small medium company in the villages there, and then this small company in the villages will become our distributor in the villages. So they will appoint another reseller, and all the resellers can using this smart POS. Next. And also for tourism area in the rural, because in Indonesia we have quite a lot of tourism area, but the location is in the remote, so there is no connectivity. So for this one, we provide the platform, and then the platform is already embedded with community Wi-Fi ecosystem offering. So basically, people in the rural area who the village have interesting scenery or interesting tourism area. So basically, the village can manage the people house to become something like the small type like Airbnb, but they can manage by themselves by using this platform. And then by using this platform, they also will have their own portal, and then they can start to receive online booking from their upcoming guests. Next. This is also another platform that we have. So basically, this platform is for the village government. So we provide a platform that the village government can use for managing all the letters until their financial record, bookkeeping, and etc. And also all the people's requirement for the letters also available in the portal. And then information about the village also will available in every village portal. Next. Yeah, this is still part of the application. So basically, we have the letters starting from birth cert and everything. They can manage from this platform. And then also, if the village have some have some business, so we can facilitate with our e-commerce engine, so they can have their own e-commerce selling handicraft or selling whatever they want. And until the financial. Okay, and the next one, usually we can transform the village become a smart village. So What we call it as smart village is basically we are adding some artificial intelligence and big data to some of the applications that we already have right now. Next. Yeah, this is some sample of RFID tag. So this RFID tag, we can use it for parking, we can use it for entrance fee, to tourism object, and etc. Next. This is use case of RFID tag if we put it, if we use it as a parking or entrance fee for tourism object. Next. Yeah, this is the simple way of adding balance. Next. Yeah, DNA tech is also partnership with Fantic. Fantic is even driven architecture platform. So basically, with Fantic, we are offering to the some of the village like the flood alert or emergency response. Next. And also right now with some of with one of the university in the east part of Indonesia, right now we are developing another platform that what we call it as digital agriculture, and then we also using some part of the solution from Fantic. Next. Yeah, this is also some of the use case that we are working on right now. So basically, we are making an online fishing industry. We call it as a digital fishery. So we connecting all the ship and then the owner of the ship, and then also all the stakeholders that involved in the fishing industry. So this is briefly. We still have some initiative. Maybe later we can discuss more detail. I think that's all, Steve.
Okay.
I give it back to you.
Thank you. Thank you very much, Ika. So yeah, so as I said at the start, I think, you know, with what DNA shared with the WBA over the last few months, it's quite a fascinating story. And we're talking about fixing some real world issues. Well, you know, there you have it as well. So lots of different use cases, agriculture, fishing, you know, the smart village, but, you know, basic connectivity for people that haven't had it before, haven't been in that, you know, been fortunate enough as well. So we're extremely enthusiastic to be working with DNE. We had our kickoff welcome call last week with them, and we're identifying the areas of interest. One of those is open roaming, but I believe Wi-Fi 6, E and 7 will also be, you know, other areas that we plan to collaborate with DNE on as well. So Ika, thank you for your support as well. I'm just going to see if there are any questions that came through. Otherwise, I think in the interest of time, we do have to move on. Just give me one second. Okay, I think yes, we have to move. So let me just back to the agenda. We're going to have to do a little bit of a change. So Chris from Telstra, if you don't mind, Gianni has a hard stop at the top of the hour, so I was going to give him the floor for 5 minutes or so to talk a little bit about what Cirrus Networks are doing as well. So if that's no problem, we'll do a change here and we'll go to Gianni. So Gianni, over to you. I can share your slide, or thanks, Chris. Thank you. Gianni, would you like me to share your slide, or do you want to grab the screen? It's entirely up to you.
I'll just grab the screen if that's all right.
Okay, go ahead. Yep.
Cool. Thanks, Steve, and I really appreciate that, Chris, as well. Unfortunately, just the way it's worked out today. So just want to make sure I share the right screen. Share. Okay, we'll just get into presentation mode, which I believe is that one. Okay. Away. Okay, can everybody see that on the screen there?
We can. Looks good. You're
Okay,
in
cool.
presentation mode at the moment, Chris, so you can see your sort of next slide. So if you want to, you've got your next slide format on there as well. So you're not in.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
I'll just zoom in if that's right. I'm not
Yep.
sure why it's doing that. Oh, actually, I know what. Here we go. And there we go. That's better. Is that better?
Yep. Okay.
Excellent. Okay, cool. Look, I'm not a massive fan of overly text-based slides, and I'd kind of written this slide here to be written to be read after this meeting. But I just wanted to cover 5 verticals that I'm working in right now. Obviously, there's more verticals for open roaming and the application of NGH Wi-Fi. But I just thought it'd be good to touch base with the group. To talk about these verticals, how to talk about NGH Wi-Fi or open roaming, and what are some of the obstacles that you are going to face when consulting in these verticals. So just as some reference, I'm a solutions architect for Cirrus Networks, and my job is to create connectivity solutions for the company and its client portfolio, of which NGH Wi-Fi is a big part of that. So I think we'll start with smart city because it's pertinent to what Heath was talking about there, but obviously out in the rural space. So in talking to the smart cities there, the typical question I'm faced with is, how do I provide secure connections to citizens? And for the technically minded on this phone call, and even sales as well, your solution building blocks there are Hotspot 2.0 and open roaming. Hotspot 2.0 has been available on infrastructure networks since 2012, or the big 5 anyway. So it's an infrastructure-less upgrade for the client, which is very attractive. And then pairing that with an open roaming subscription and all the good work that the WBA have been doing in securing massive identity providers like Google, Apple, Samsung, and Android. We can now provide secure and automatic citizen Wi-Fi in every smart city, or Heath, if there was infrastructure available in those communities, the same service can be deployed, and we can end digital poverty once and for all. So this is a very real thing. This is not a pie in the sky idea. This is working in cities across the world already, and it is available here in Australia. So if you are reading this and you are from the region and you're wondering, how can it be this easy? It really can be this easy. Please do get in touch. And on my next slide, I'll talk about how we can leverage our membership to the WBA to get the outcomes that these various verticals are looking for. Sorry. On the transport and the application owner side, they're very similar. They're the same question that I get from these 2 verticals are, how do I use my app to connect passengers or customers to Wi-Fi automatically? And again, the building blocks there are an infrastructure-less enablement of Hotspot 2.0, which is great for the customer. And then there needs to be some work completed on the application side of things to make that, to give the app the capability to get onto these networks. Now, luckily, we have several members in the WBA already who do this. The SDK network profile line item there is actually a carrier technology. So I encourage you to speak to the carriers that are involved in the WBA, because there's an absolute wealth of knowledge out there, and it is really simple solution to implement. So do touch base with Steve and get in touch with the likes of Single Digits or BSG Wireless to have a chat about how that can transform your application and or your customer's experience. So both of them are looking for a automatic and secure Wi-Fi experience, and the NGH Wi-Fi opportunity or the open roaming opportunity here is to be able to make slight change in the solution and use NGH Wi-Fi to extend the coverage in the app owner's case, extend the coverage of the application to partner sites, to brand partners, and just traditional NGH public locations around the world, so open roaming locations around the world. So the sell here is, look, if you're going to create this capability in your application, you might as well use a next generation technology and framework to further enhance the application offering. And I think Adolfo, he's going to touch a bit on that later on in the phone call, particularly around public transport, which is a big passion of mine, where it's not all owned by the same entity, but passengers might cross the boundary or the demarcation between two service providers that are providing public transport, and they want to maintain that seamless connectivity connection, and open roaming architecture is perfect for that. On the enterprise side, I've spoken a little bit about this before. NGH Wi-Fi or open roaming has been a little bit slow to penetrate this market, only because enterprises are looking for a solution that has full visibility of who is connecting to the network, and an enforcement solution as well. Open roaming is really great for securing guest Wi-Fi in the enterprise space, but enterprises are looking for a little bit more control and the ability to use their own cloud identity. So for you, cast your eyes onto the enterprise column there, right down the bottom there, the NGH opportunity that they do have is, look, we can use your Microsoft identity, for example. We can provision all of your employee devices or your BYD devices with Passpoint Wi-Fi or seamless connectivity. And because you've chosen, or you've made a smart decision to use NGH Wi-Fi or open roaming, we can extend the coverage or the secure coverage footprint of your enterprise ID out to areas where your employees might do business, airports or in the city, or at other partner locations, or at other business locations. The last column I mentioned there really quickly is the university. I am very active in this space, and while the universities are interested in the base version of open roaming, a lot of them are asking me, well, we're universities, what else can we do? What smart things can we do? So I'm talking to them about enabling Eduroam over Hotspot 2.0. Anybody on this phone call who's not familiar with Eduroam, it's a university. How do I put this? It is connectivity that's provided to every single student or staff member inside the higher education space around the world. Very similar to open roaming, but it's only for universities. Eduroam have decided to join open roaming to provide their service, Eduroam, over open roaming. There's several benefits to that in terms of extending the Eduroam coverage footprint and getting around some of the pesky charter requirements that they do have. So these are the areas that I am seeing a lot of opportunity, particularly in the AU space. I know Chris is going to jump on next from Telstra. I would love to see some more offloading happening here in the AU or ANZ area onto Wi-Fi, but at the moment, it's not really conducive to install that type of technology, particularly with C-band becoming very popular in the US. I can see that happening down here in Australia and New Zealand as well. But Wi-Fi has its place. So please do not think there's no innovation happening in that space, particularly with a relationship with the carrier. There's a lot of that going on. So last thing I just want to leave you guys with is, please reach out, understand the building blocks for what you're trying to look at, and leverage your membership to be connected to other members who can assist you in developing solutions. Please don't reinvent the wheel. I've spoken to several members in this part of the world who are basically trying to set up their own radius infrastructure and keep that all in house. And while that's great strategy, I believe it was very current a decade ago. There are providers out here who are involved in the WBA who can make, for example, an open roaming commercial relationship happen within a couple of days, and your deployment happen within the hour. So what I'm saying is, use the technology that is within this community here to achieve the solution you are looking for. And there's a lot of business related aspects I haven't covered around how to create products and services around NGH Wi-Fi and open roaming and all that. So I guess the main message here is talk amongst themselves. Steve has been fantastic introducing me to a whole number of people. He's very good at understanding what I'm looking to achieve, and how to connect a person like myself with the appropriate people on the WBA. So please do utilize the service. It is extremely valuable in making connections within the WBA. So that's it from me, Steve. I'll make this available, or I'm pretty sure you'll make this available. Yep. Anybody who wants to have a chat, please get in touch. You know, we're always looking for ways to help out, especially with digital poverty. This needs to be a non-issue going forward. We have the technology to make this happen. So anybody who's really interested in that space, please do reach out, but always happy to have a chat. Okay. Thanks, mate.
Yeah, thanks, Gianni. And well said as well. So yeah, please do leverage the WBA as much as possible if you're trying to find contacts and so forth for technologies as well. That's what we're here to do as well. Okay. In the interest of time, we are a bit behind, so I'm gonna go straight to Chris White from Telstra to give their perspective on wireless connectivity and what they're addressing. So Chris, over to you, please.
Thanks, Steve. So since last time, I guess, some of the big areas we've been looking at. So one is in the home. So, we're in a market where for a few years now we've had, moved to where the access network is basically owned by a separate entity. So, Telstra, like other ISPs, is competing in retail. So, providing a great customer experience for in-home Wi-Fi is a key part of our differentiation, and so that's a key competitive area for us. So we've launched our latest generation modem, our Telstra Smart Modem V3, since we last had a call. So this is we launched a modem with Wi-Fi 6, so that was a big thing for our market, we've had really good feedback on that. But it's not only the Wi-Fi 6, but we've got extra smarts to help make it easy to automatically diagnose customer faults to reduce the amount of calls we have to deal with, make a better customer experience. And I guess a big thing too we're looking at too is in sustainability. So our Smart Modem 3 is made with more than 80% recycled plastics. So that's a big thing we're looking at too, to help our consumers and have a lower impact on the environment. So in the home, and I guess on top of that, we want this great Wi-Fi so customers have a great experience in home. And so we continue to look for ways to provide a better customer experience. So exploring things, keeping across things like the crosswork that WBA is doing and is happening in the Wi-Fi industry to see what opportunities there might be there. We continue to support and adopt the Easy Mesh to make where customers need boosters in their home to make that work well. And I guess as part of that is improving technologies to make it easy to manage that. Another big thing was Australia flicked on 6 gigahertz for Wi-Fi, so that was a big thing. And so Telstra, we were supporters of that, and we do thank the WBA for their help in advocating for that as well. And even for WBA members, we did some work with Cisco, Broadcom, and Intel, doing some testing of some 6E kit in advance, and that was really really helpful for us to get some real insight on that and helped in our submissions. And just for time, look, the other area in Wi-Fi is the sort of public enterprise. Again, I agree with Gianni. We're supporters of open roaming, and we're looking for how we can productize it, how we can exploring what opportunities we have to make it into commercial offerings in the public and enterprise space. And so interested to explore opportunities there. But it's I don't know, I feel like a broken record a bit being with WBA for a while. It's it's so important to get that great customer experience, that secure, simple connectivity that is as easy as your mobile phone. So you don't have to think about it. Yeah, we really want that, because the current experience without that is just too clunky. Yeah. Anyway, because of time, I'll just stop there. But happy to take questions, or Steve, if because of time you want to skip on, it's okay.
Yeah, no, I think we have to move on, because I know some people have a hard stop as well. So I'm going to move it forward. But thanks, Chris, as well, for your update. So yeah, we have a few minutes left. What I want to do is briefly introduce Adolfo Garrido from Transport for New South Wales. So WBA has been working with Adolfo and his team over there as well on some of the work that they're doing to bring connectivity into the transportation system there in Sydney, in fact, as well. So, Adolfo, do you want to say a quick hello? And I'm going to ask if perhaps for the next meeting, perhaps we can come back and hear a bit more about what you guys are doing as well, because I think quite a lot is moving on pretty quickly as well.
No problem, Steve. I did want to say thanks to Steve and Tiago. Talking to you guys has been really, really beneficial for us, and it's been great getting to know you guys. Hi to everyone on the line. I'm Adolfo from, actually work at Sydney Metro, which is part of Transport for New South Wales. And at the moment, we've got one of the largest infrastructure projects in Australia at the moment going on. So we're deploying a number of metro lines that will be servicing a new Western Sydney airport. We'll be deploying a metro line that's going from Westmead through to the city. And we have a northern line and also a city southwest line coming up with a number of extensions that are being explored at the moment. But also online, I have invited some of our colleagues from ROMS, who's regional outer metropolitan team, who are also on the line. And some of the content that was being covered today is very, I guess, topical at the moment for them. And some of the team from the core transport team. So we embarked on this journey early last year. Is when I got in touch with Steve and Tiago, and who have been extremely helpful in giving me some insights into Wi-Fi. It's something we're currently exploring and scoping out to see what benefits we can gain from deploying Wi-Fi on our metro network and possibly our transport networks, especially when you're servicing an airport. So, we've done a fair bit of research at the moment in terms of our new line coming up. And one of the key things that was consistently coming up from not only our local domestic markets or, catchment area, but also from internationals that would be travelling to Australia. And one of the key things and people that have high expectations when travelling to another country is access to a Wi-Fi network. So that's, I guess, what's led us on this journey. And we've come quite a long way and have been finding some really good contacts through both Steve and Tiago, through the WBA Alliance, and talking to some key members, Gianni being one of them. We've spoke to a few guys at Telstra, BI, and also hearing some of the guys talking today, like Keith and the guys looking at the Indigenous or the rural connectivities. That'd be interesting to talk to you guys further. But yeah, so that's it in short, considering the time that we got. But yeah, happy to spend a bit more time at your next event to talk in a bit more detail if you want.
Okay. Yes, thank you, Adolfo. And again, just in the spirit of collaboration, yep, certainly opportunities like speaking with Heath and Anthony, that's something that we'll facilitate as well. So perfect. Okay. Just grabbing the screen and going back to the agenda. We're not going to have enough time to do a sort of full brainstorm and cover this off as well. So what I'm suggesting is that we cover this off offline with the team. So I'll cover that off as a next step as well. We'll make all the resources available. One idea is to create a resource center with all of the information from today, but also other WBA avenues, and we'll put that into the we'll communicate that out to everybody on the call as well. Okay. But without further ado, I need to close the call now. So it's a big thank you to all of our speakers and everybody. Have a great day, great evening, and we'll speak in a few months. Okay. Bye.